Hi everybody, welcome to Dandelion Cottage and Papercrafting Thursday. I hope you're well today. Let me get all my signage together here. So today we're going to continue with the fancy holiday gift box. So I'm going to show you all the different pieces I have so far. I need to do a little more cutting and assembling because I'm still in the design process, so it's evolving. And I have a couple of other videos that I've done that are related to this one, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be creating a PDF and a complete video tutorial that I will make available to you. So don't worry about the measurements and all of the fine details. I'm just going to keep this short and to the point. And if you are a member of the Watercolor and Stampin' Up! Paper Crafting Projects Facebook group, I'm going to be adding some special links in there later today. So please, if you haven't signed up for that yet, please do that. All you need to do is put your name in the comments below so I can recognize it, and then ask to be admitted, and I will let you in. The name again is Watercolor and Stampin' Up! Paper Crafting Projects. And you should be able to find that, and it's a wonderful community, and we're going to start adding lots of fun projects coming right up, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, you can go to dandelioncottagedesign.com and look for information about signing up for notes from Dandelion Cottage, because I'm going to be sending out an invitation to you to get the special watercolor starter kit, watercolor paint box starter kit in time for Christmas. So you've only got 2 more days, so look for that as well. All right, I think that is all of the business that I need to share with you. Let me show you what I have so far on my desk. So I've cut out lots of little pieces. And I've got some other pieces here. Alrighty, and these are my measurements. I'm going to need that in just a minute. And I've done a little bit of work since the last time you tuned in. So let me show you what I've done. So this is the base of the box. As you can see, it's an explosion box, so the sides are going to flop down and reveal the surprise on the inside. And then each one of these has a panel that you can put either a sentiment or a photograph. So that's just a little added bonus. And what I need to do today is I want to make a let me show you. I want to make a lid type configuration, but instead of using it as a lid, I'm going to use it as a base. And then this is going to fit inside, and this is going to hold the surprise. So I'm going to make a reinforced lid kind of a insert here. And I have that ready to go. Alright, so here it is. I just need to cut and assemble. So I'm going to find my snips, and I'm going to go around pinwheel style. It's chilly out there today. I was outside checking on the chickens, and I let them out so that they could get some fresh air and sunshine. But it was chilly. and I was glad to have my gloves on. We've been having these fluctuating temperatures, and a lot of the snow is melted now. There's just a few patches here and there. Alright, so there's the beginning. Now I'm going to remove this piece from my tabs. And these are just the glue tabs, so these will not show. But what I do want to do is a series of angle cuts. So I just want to make sure that this and this have a little bit of an angle. This is to make sure that the edge of it doesn't show when it all comes together, and I think I need to do a better job of cutting this one. There you go. Is everybody doing your Christmas shopping? How are you making out with your lists? I've got a couple of the major things done, but I still have lots of odds and ends, and I also want to make some really cute presentation boxes, and that's why I'm going to be sharing the fancy gift box directions with you, because I have a feeling that I'm not alone. I think there's probably a lot of you paper crafters out there that want to make a cute presentation or a stocking stuffer or whatever the case may be. One more. Okay, let's see how this looks. Oh, I missed one. Let's see, I didn't do this one. Alright, let's check that all of them are beveled nicely. It's actually not a bevel, it's what you would call an angle, slight angle. Just neaten that up a little bit. That looks pretty good. And move all this out of the way. Toss that. Alright, now the other thing I need is this thing. And I'm using my Mossy Meadow for that. And but I need to make it a little bit smaller than this one. So the one I made originally is just, well, it might work. Let me, before I take the time to do that, let's just see if it will work or not. So the base, I have been busy doing a lot of die cutting, as you can see. So I've got my mistletoe, I've got my, I think that's eucalyptus. I've got some balsam branches, and all of these die cuts were made using this set of dies from the Golden Greenery. Okay, so there's quite a few, but I just used the standalone dies. And the rest of the suite is from the Golden Greenery suite, or I think it's called Seasons, or Season of Gold and Green, something like that. You'll find it. And I've got lots of extras in here. So these are the things that I'm looking for. In addition to the foliage dies, I'm also using this one called Stylish Shapes. So I used the circular shapes for the holes, and these are very pretty because they have a detail on them that adds a really, really nice element of design. And then I also used these. So these are the smaller of the longer banners, and they're going to look really nice on the sides of my platform. So there they are. So I'm going to, while this is still flat, I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my decorative banners. And I'm going to find my tweezers so it's a little bit easier to position. Make sure that that's straight. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and give that a nice burnish. Continue around. Okay. Oops. Get that back into place. Alrighty, so there's my panels adhered to the platform. A little bit of glue here. Let's remove that. Okay, so now all I need to do is assemble this. Just going to hold that in place for a moment. Just make my way around. And I'm just checking to make sure that this lines up nicely at the corner. I was watching a program last night on the scenic views in Scotland, and it was just amazing. Definitely on my bucket list of places I'd like to visit. And I also love long train rides, and there is a selection of different train tours that look very interesting. So I'm going to be checking that out. Lots of scenic views, magnificent mountains, various lakes and lochs and bodies of water, waterfalls. I love all of that, and of course a lot of castles and ruins and the wonderful, wonderful old cities. So it's got me thinking. All right, so I'm just going around now to make sure that those glue tabs are firmly adhered. Okay, and then on the inside here, there are my, I think you can see the flaps, they're all down. Oh, this one's shifted a little bit. Let's make sure that that's in the right place. I always keep going back to double check that everything is where I want it, that nothing shifted. A little whisker here. Take that off. And that looks pretty good. I got some glue on here. Let me just remove that while I have the chance. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to do my opposite sides first. And that's what I'm going to do. Hold that for a moment. Oh, hi, Ginger. Oh, she wants to go. Oh, okay. Okay, you've got a deal. I like that. I like that idea very much. Hey, maybe we could get the whole team. That would be fun. Oh my gosh, could you imagine? That would be so much fun. Maybe we should figure out what kind of train trips we could take all together. That would really be too much fun. You know, there's all sorts of crafting cruises and getaways and retreats and all that sort of thing. But I haven't heard of any train rides. Okay, so this is my inner base. So there's how it looks. It's very cute. I really like the detail on these banners. You see that? So that will go in here. Something like that. Okay. Now, let me see it. This is my prototype. I don't think this is going to fit. I could make it, but I'm not going to, I don't want it to be wiggly, so I'm not going to force it. So I'm going to show you how I made that from scratch. So here's my piece of mossy meadow. And this piece has about 1.5 by 3.5. So 3.5 plus 3 is 6.5. So that's what I'm looking for in my cardstock. So let's get the trimmer out. And measure twice, cut once. 3.5, 5, 6.5. Okay. let's get that in there. And the sides are going to measure I lost my ruler. How does that happen? Every single time. I swear these things have wings. They just kind of fly away. Alright. Just want to make sure that that's 1.5 because there's going to be a little bit of a reveal on there. I want to make sure that I can catch a little bit of the other color. So I'm just going to go around and I'm going to score this at 1.5 on all 4 sides. Make sure I have that in there nice and straight. Okay. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing as I did earlier. I'm going to go around, pinwheel, so that my cuts are made on all 4 sides. Okay, and then for my glue tabs, I'm just going to trim off those little angle cuts. And this is not reinforced because this little insert is simply going to slip inside of that reinforced platform that I made a minute ago. So it would simply be overkill for this to be reinforced as well. And you're not going to see these tabs once it's in place. Okay, so there it is. Now, before I assemble this, I need to add my hole for the object. So now I really do need that ruler. Oh my gosh. Oh, the struggle. Did it go on the floor? Well, I don't know. We're going to have to use the big ruler. All right, so to find the center, what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to lay my ruler from corner to corner diagonally. Put a little mark with the pencil. Do exactly the same thing the other direction. Okay, and that's going to give me the exact center of my platform. I found it. Found it. Oh my gosh. Hey Sandra, how are you? I hope you're enjoying today so far. Now in the stylish shapes, in addition to the banner and the squares, we also have these very nice circles. Okay, so this is the size I'm looking for. That's going to work. And I'm going to need my cut and emboss machine for this next step. So let's move this out of the way a little bit. I still haven't unpacked from New York. I'll tell you what, between Christmas, Thanksgiving, New York, this place is a hot mess right now. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I have to fold up one of these flaps so that it fits in the machine nicely. And I'm going to get this placed. I'm sorry if I'm getting my head under the camera, but I have to see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to eyeball that, make sure the sides look good, and they do. The center X looks pretty good. All right, I'm going to run that through. And I'm going to save this. I'll erase the pencil lines, and that can be used for a little tag or something. Okay, so there's my platform. And now I'm just going to glue it together. Making sure that those corners are nice and tight. Excess glue there. Go ahead and tuck this last one in. The glue's coming out fast today. It must be because the fire has it so warm in here. It's nice and cozy. Okay. Okay, let's check to make sure that this fits. And it does. That looks beautiful. Now what I was looking for was this little bit of a reveal so that I've got all three colors on the side. So I just raised that up a tiny bit. Let me see if I can get that glue off of there a little bit sloppy on this corner. I'll come back to that with the glue eraser once that's dry. Okay, and oh, I could have put this on before I glued it. I also cut out a shape using the stylus shapes with both the square and the circle to get that lovely little detail on there. And I'm just going to use this to decorate the lid. I have to be careful here because this paper has gold foiling, and I know it's going to take a little bit longer to dry, and this glue is over enthusiastic today, so I'm just trying to be as neat as I can. And get that on there nicely. Looks pretty good. I'm going to grab a little block. got a little burnish. Make sure nothing shifted. That looks really pretty. And this fits nicely in here. So here's my inner platform, and I'm very pleased with this. Now, you could always change the dimension of the sides if you wanted to create a taller shape. I had previously fitted this box on the inside here, and that works very nicely. Okay, so that would be good for a closed box kind of a gift item. But in this case, I wanted to use this because I have this beautiful ornament, and that's going to fit just nicely like so, so that when you open the box, you have your beautiful ornament. Okay? So that's my idea for today. Now, I'm also going to be working on the lid, and this is, let me show you how this looks. So here's my lid that holds everything together. Okay, there it is. But you see it's looking a little bare on the top. Well, not to worry. I have my decoration almost ready to go. So I think I showed you this before. I applied this wonderful open weave trim in gold, and this is pretty wide. It's 1.5 inches wide, so it's nice and thick, and of course when you pull on it, it gets much more narrow, so you can make it whichever width you like. And I've added a little bow, and this was just messy stitched on there to hold it in place. And what that's going to do is it's going to give me, and I'm not sure where I want my bow just yet, but I've got my sculpted flowers that I made. So these are the beautiful Christmas roses. They're made to look like the white roses from the hellebore group. And then I also have these fabulous die cuts. So I'm going to be snipping these out. I think I need a darker one underneath there. So I've got my balsam. So I can arrange this, and I cut the balsam out in both the mossy meadow and the old olive so that I had some color contrast, so it shows up a little bit better. And then I've got this mistletoe, which I really like. Okay, and of course I'll trim this down to size. And then I'll be adding my beautiful hellebores, something like this. So that's how that's going to come together. But I'm not going to do it just yet because I also have these little beads, and I want to add some of these beautiful red beads. Well, they're rolling away, you can't see them. But you get the idea. Let me see if I can get one out here. So just for a little extra pop of color, I'm going to add some of those red beads, and maybe I'll add some of those mesh gold leaves as holly, so that I have a beautiful greenery and floral display of texture on the lid of my box. So that's what's coming up next. I also took the time to make a couple of tags, and of course these circles are also great for tags, so that's a possibility. Lots of little odds and ends. So that's it for today. Remember to go to dandelioncottagedesign.com. You'll find information there about the watercolor paint box starter kit. You can also go directly to the watercolorpaintbox.com and find information there as well. Most importantly though, make sure you sign up for notes from Dandelion Cottage, because there will be some special announcements going out and the chance to get a special deal on some PDFs and classes. That's coming right up. And also the watercolor and Stampin' Up! Paper crafting project group. There's going to be a challenge in there that I'm going to invite you all to participate in. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope I gave you some ideas. I hope you like my ornament box. There it is. Okay. And I hope you give it a try. And if you do, please post it on the watercolor and Stampin' Up! Paper projects, paper crafting projects page. It's a lot of P's, so that I can see what you've made. So stay well, stay happy, stay creative, and I will see you next